Forklift test questions. What action should your employer take to ensure the health and safety of its workers? List 4 actions. Provide a safe workplace, provide safe machines, provide good facilities, provide training. Question 2. List 3 types of attachments that can be used other than forks. 1. Bale clamps. 2. Carpet spike. 3. Drum carrier. 4. Jib attachment. 5. Work platform. 6. Fork extension slippers. Question 3. What is the best way to determine the voltage of electrical power lines? Phone power company. What is a hazard? Anything that can harm a person. What is a risk? The chance of a person could be harmed or affected by a hazard. Question 6. You have just passed your high-risk work licence, HRWL. List 2 things your employer must give you before you operate their machines. Answer. Training and information on their machines. Question 7. As a worker, you have a duty of care list. 2 things this may involve. 1. Take care of their own safety. 2. Take care of safety of others. Take care for the safety of others. Are you allowed to have extra counterweight to a forklift? No! How can a weather forecast help you plan your day? Answer. Help plan the worksite. When driving a forklift in the cold or wintry weather, list 3 possible hazards that may arise. 1. Snow. 2. Wet or slippery conditions. Strong winds. Visibility. Things you should do if your forklift truck comes in contact with the power lines. 1. Warn others to stay away. 2. Attempt to break contact with the power lines. 3. Don't touch metal objects. If you have to get them off, touch the machine and ground at the same time. 5. Report to management. 6. Have machine checked before use. Question 12. What is the most common load centre distance in Australia? Answer. 600 millimetres. Question 13. Why is it dangerous to use an internal combustion engine in a confined or restricted area? Answer. Can be overcome by dangerous gases. Question 14. What must batteries be charged in well-vented Why must batteries be charged in well-ventilated areas? Answer. Batteries give off explosive gases. 15. What type of forklift should be used in this area? Brackets, confined or restricted areas. Answer. A battery-powered forklift. Question 16. Why is a rear end swing dangerous when using a forklift? Answer. Swing fast, could hit people or racks. Question 17. Name 3 ways you could communicate with personnel. Answer. Written, signage, eye contact, warning devices. Question 18. When using a jib attachment, what hazard may be related to this? Answer. Reduced stability, swinging load. Why must you wear a seatbelt when using a forklift? Answer. It stops you falling in a tip over. Question 20. Is it important to check your vehicle? Is it important to check your wheels and tyres before using the forklift? List 4 things you must do. 1. Large pieces of rubber missing. 2. Tyres are worn. 3. Wear is uneven. 4. Insecurely fitted. 5. Damaged sidewall. Flat tyre. Question 21. It is important to check with the forklift before use. List 6 things you check before you get on it. 1. Tyres are in good condition. 2. Check hydraulics. 3. Any damage to the machine. 4. Forks damaged. 5. Mast damage, battery check for any damage. Check gas cylinder is secure and no damage. Check seat condition. Check data plate. Lights and beacon. Check overhead guard. Question 22. Is it important to check forklift before not? Hang on. Is it important to check the forklift before use? List 4 things you can check once you are on the forklift. 1. Brakes. 2. Hydraulics. 3. Warning lights. 4. Reverse buzzer and horn. 5. Lights if fitted. 6. Gauges. 7. Steering. And of course flat tyres. Question 23. When driving a forklift and your view is obstructed, what are the 3 things you should do before moving? 1. Check the pathway is clear. 2. Check mirrors. 3. Look over both shoulders. 4. Use horn and flashing lights. 5. Use a spotter. 6. Repack the load. Can you carry passengers on your forklift? Explain your answer. When it is designed to do so. Question 25. Name 3 things you should do when stacking loads on top of each other. 1. Firm, level surface. 2. Heavy loads, goods at the bottom. 3. Stack must not become unstable due to height. 4. Can load below support the loads above? Question 26. How is a forklift truck affected if the load is not placed hard against the heel or vertical face of the forks? Answer. Lift capacity reduced and stability affected. What are 2 visual indicators that can be used to identify power lines? 1. Tiger nails. 2. Marker balls. 3. Safety and warning danger signs. List 4 things that may tip your forklift sideways. 1. Turning at speed, uneven surface, uneven load, flat tyre, driving too fast, turning with the load raised, side shift not centered, sloping surface. List 4 things that may tip your forklift forward or backwards. 1. Uneven surface, uneven load, driving too fast, overloading, severe braking, incorrect use of the mast tilt, shifting of the load center forward, load too high. What are the distance and voltages you must keep your forklift away from power lines in New South Wales? 3 metres, up to 132,000 volts. 6 metres, up to 1,300, 2,000 volts. Below 330,000. 8 metres above 330,000. List 3 people you may talk to about a hazard before starting work. Managers, supervisors, other workers. Explain why it is important to talk to these people about hazards. 1. To identify and be aware of any workplace hazard or ground conditions. 2. To ensure workplace policies and procedures are used. In case of a machine failure, such as steering, brakes or hydraulics, list 2 things you would do. 1. Stop the forklift. 2. Tag the forklift. 3. Report to management. 4. Have the machine checked and repaired before use. List 8 workplace hazards that you may need to consider before starting work on a forklift. Electrical lines, pedestrians, slopes, ramps, equipment, obstruction, weather conditioning, lightning, overhead service lines, surrounding structures, dangerous materials, vehicles, blind corners, service conditions. What other things should you plan before moving a load to ensure safety? List 3 things other than workplace hazards. The load, attachments, location of task, permits required, equipment required, availability of equipment, capacity of the forklift, and blind spots. Why would you not lift a load over or near people? Risk of injury or death. List 3 things the WH regulator can do to high-risk work licence holder if they do not work safely. Suspend their licence, cancel their licence, refuse to renew the licence. List 4 places you would not park your forklift. Near a first aid station, firefighting, near doorways, on sloping surfaces, on or near pedestrian walkways, emergency exits, or where it is obstructing other traffic. List 4 steps for normal parking procedure of a forklift. Fork arms lowered, tips to the ground, forklift in neutral, park brake on, take out key. Why should we be placed between a truck and a loading dock before moving the load? What? Secure bridging plate or dock plate. List 2 things you should do if your forklift is tipping over sideways. 1. Stay in forklift. 2. Brace yourself. 3. Hold on tight. List 2 reasons why you should not lift a load with only one fork arm. Damage to the fork, load may tip, stability of the fork. If your data plate is damaged or unreadable, list 3 things you should do. 1. Do not use it. Take key out. Tag it out of order. Tell boss. What direction must the forklift travel when carrying a load uphill? Forward or load facing uphill? Where would you find information about the correct way to use an attachment? In the manufacturer's instructions. What is the risk of refueling a forklift while the engine is running? Answer, the fuel igniting. What are 3 sources of workplace safety information? Australian standards, management plans, code of practice, manufacturer's instructions, operation manuals, safe working procedures. What safety control measures can you use when driving a forklift in areas open to the public? List 3. Flag person, flashing lights or signs, warning signs or barriers. List 3 safety guards on a forklift and what do they do? A load backrest. A load backrest stops the load from hitting the mast. Overhead guard. Overhead guard protects the operator from falling objects. Foot guard. Foot guards protect the operator's feet. Draw the load center distance on the forklift. Draw the fulcrum of the forward point balance of the forklift. When driving a forklift in wet and slippery conditions, surface, list 2 things you should do. Reduce speed, proceed with caution. How will adding an attachment to your forklift affect its lifting capacity? Capacity will be reduced. Why is it unsafe to turn a forklift on a ramp or sloping surface? Give 2 reasons. 1, could lose the load. 2, could tip the forklift. Where can you find the related capacity for your forklift? On the data plate. Why is it important to watch your load while driving so it doesn't fall off? Why is it important to keep the air-filled tyres at the correct operating procedures? It maintains stability of the forklift. Why should you remove the key when you're leaving the forklift unattended? To prevent unauthorised use. Why should side shift be put back into the centre while before driving with a load? To maintain stability. List 3 ways you could find out the weight of a load. Weigh bridge notes, weight of the load, calculate the load, loads, weight may be added on the load itself. The load you're about to lift is badly stacked or leaning. What should you do before lifting it? Restack it safely. What is a safe travelling height for a fork arms when travelling, loaded or unloaded? Answer, as low as possible to the ground. What must you have if you're driving a forklift at night or in a dark area? Adequate lighting or sufficient lighting and a well-lit area. What is the risk of driving a forklift with the load raised too high? Answer, forklift may tip over. If you are given an instruction when operating a forklift and you do not understand what you should do, stop and ask a question so you understand. The load to be moved on a boxes are pallet. There are 4 layers with boxes on each layer. Each box weighs 20 kilos. The pallet weighs 20 kilos. What is the total pallet of the weight? 4 by 5 is 20. 20 by 20 equals 400. 400 plus 25 is 425. The total is 425. Question 2. The load moved bags of dog food is stacked on a pallet. There are 5 layers with 20 bags to each layer. Each bag weighs 5 kilos. The pallet weighs 60 kilos. What's the total weight of the bags in the pallet? 5 lots of 20 bags is 100 kilos. 100 lots of 5 is 500 kilos. 560 equals 560, total 560. The load to be moved on the drums and on a pallet. There are 4 layers. So with 6 drums on each layer, each drum weighs 10 kilos, the pallet weighs 35 kilos. The weight of the drums and the pallet is 4 times 6, 24. 24 times 10 is 24. 240 times 35 is 275, total 275.